they ripped him out my life. His smile was really bright. Picked me up from school. He would always say, son, make something out your life. Dad, I'm going to college. I'm going to play football and live what we dream.
We had poetry come to the JDC, and for kids that generally are a little bit ho-hum about academics, especially touchy-feely stuff like poetry, it was a bit of a stretch, and we were sort of more optimistic and hopeful than we were confident that this was going to work.
Fairfax County and Arts Fairfax in particular put out a call for poets who are interested in serving in this way, and as part of the application process we had to propose a project that would be community-facing that we could do to make an impact on the community. And so this was my idea, a few years ago.
The students have the new prompt in their journal, so students, you can open that up. We're gonna ask Jose to read the poem that the prompt is about after Mariah has her question.
It seemed like a perfect fit from the beginning, that the students already had a great support system, and we were able to bring a couple of extra people in, some really great poets in Nicole, some GMU MFA students who are poets themselves, to really interact with the kids and get them writing.
Our students were very open-minded when it came to experiencing this new genre to them. And when I say new, many of them maybe had some inhibitions. They weren't sure if they'd like it or not.
It was surprising to me as well as the teachers, because I was like, I'm not gonna like it. It's not gonna be for me. And then now everybody's like, you're the star of the show. Like, it's surprising, but I like it.
You're not dying on me, don't even think about it.
The Poet Laureate is an ambassador for poetry. And so poetry is something that has fallen out of favors in many communities. It is distant from most people's lives. And so part of the job of a Poet Laureate is to reintroduce communities to poetry and the power of poetry.
These adults came in and they just shared their craft, they shared their art, and they were able to sort of inspire the students to kind of get to a place I've never seen them go.
Yeah, this is my full-time job at this point, is like making books, giving lectures, giving performances.
We're not teaching the poetry and poets of old, we're teaching contemporary, living people.
For a long time, I never imagined leaving Chicago, and when I started writing poetry, that's when I started meeting people from all over the place and connecting with them.
We got to speak and communicate on a Zoom with poets who they had read over the course of the past few months. And so they had these connections that they were ready to share with their poets and really watch this art become alive.
It was really fun. Like, they even got us to meet Jose Alvarado. I kind of liked his books. When I seen it, I was like, wait, that's him. Like, that's the author. And then it was amazing.
And I want you to know that, I'm gonna be rooting for you. Like I said, your teachers have my contact information. So if you want to send me an email, if you want to write to me, I'll write back.
Students begin to see, oh, poetry doesn't have to rhyme. I thought that poetry had all these rules, and this group in particular said we thought poetry was all rainbows and unicorns. And then we read a poem by Clint Smith or Jose Olivares, and we understand that what is represented on the pages looks a lot like a life that we've lived.
They were sort of having conversations with grown-ups, they were stretching themselves, they were using their communication skills. And I think ultimately they learned that poetry could actually be a coping skill for them.
The staff members that were working in there were really helpful towards us, because I've always been afraid to express my feelings, because I'm scared somebody might judge me, and they didn't do that.
It's just being able to elevate their voices. They have a lot to say, and we're grateful to listen.
It is a program very much about literacy and ownership and agency. So I hope that they feel all three of those things and feel a confidence in the power of those three things to play a role in their lives.